Hey guys, it's Jake with the product specialist team at RDO Equipment Company. In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to create a custom tailored corn seeding setup file using the brand new Work Planner app in Operations Center web. In order to get started, we need to know two things: what crop season and what type of operation that we will be planning work for. In this example, we'll be creating a corn seeding work plan for 2021. Now, as you see, there are already a couple of items in our queue, and we're going to talk about how this list works and how we can prioritize our work based on its current status and current state here in a moment. But for now, let's go ahead and click our yellow plus button in the top right corner and start our seeding plan. Before we begin, it's really important that I mention that all of our varieties, products, and tank mixes have already been preloaded into the products app. We've already got our tractor and planter in our account. We've already pre-populated our field identification information in the land app, and we have two operators that we've created as well in teams. In order for you to create a work plan, you really only need to know three things: the crop type, the client farm and field, and the target rate you wish to set for your seeding task. However, the more information you have, the more complete your setup file will be in your display, and the less manual entry that you will need to do in the cab. So as I said, we're creating a corn seeding work plan. So let's start by selecting our corn as our crop. And up till now, we've been kind of using a DeKalb 112-day DeKalb variety as our variety. So I'm going to go ahead and pick that as well. And so if you wish to have more than one hybrid on your list, that's just fine. You can have, honestly, as many varieties as you'd like to have for the setup file. But keep in mind these two things. One, you can modify this as many times as you want prior to sending the file to the machine. And two, in order for you to fully maximize the efficiencies of Work Planner, having a single variety populate in the display will allow you or your operator to get started right away instead of needing to decide on which variety to use out in the field. Now, as for the product or tank mix, if you put an insecticide or a fertilizer down at planting, which many people do, you can select from your preloaded products or tank mixes, and we'll be able to assign those rates as well, keeping in mind that if you're running a tank mix, it's going to have a predefined use rate. Now, if you do choose to add an additional liquid or granular product that will be metered by a rate controller, keep in mind that you will need to update your display to 21-1 display software as soon as it's available in March. Until then, application equipment and rate controllers are not compatible with Work Planner setup files. Now, in the more details section, this is where we can select our tractor and planter, as well as our operator who will be running the machine. In this case, I'm going to select our 8R370 tractor and our DB44 planter. And then also from the list, I'm going to select myself as an operator. Now, if you plan to have more than one machine running in the same field, or if you're unsure of which machine in your fleet will be completing the task if you have multiple sets of machines, you can add additional equipment and operators by simply clicking the plus button here. Now, work order and work instructions are two new additions that carry over from the Jobs app. In many cases out on the farm, you may not have a work order ID system in place, and that's just fine. If you're a commercial operator, though, it's very possible that you have a job code or a task ID that you can assign to your operators. And in our case, we're just going to put corn planting here as our identifier. For application tasks especially, this can be really helpful because we can identify a burn down, a pre-emerge, or a post-emerge application, kind of a title here. Or for tillage operations, we can have a primary and secondary tillage pass if you want to have that stuff planned out as well to keep track on. Now, work instructions can be as little or as much as you wish to provide to the operator in order for them to get the information that they need to get the job done as you have planned. It could be a place to just simply note something special, like use this prescription or watch out for this rock pile. In this case, we're going to attach a prescription here, and then there are also a few rock piles to warn our operator of. So we're just going to type those types of notes in here. Now we click Next. Now on the Fields tab, This is where all of our field identification information is selected. In this case, we have 3 fields that you see here, 2 of which have no active boundaries and are denoted by the generic shape, and 1 which has an active boundary and is noted by the violet polygon shaped like the field that we're wishing to apply in. You'll want to note also that while having the minimum information will allow you to complete the task, by not having an active boundary, no area information will actually populate. So tools like work progress in the mobile app will not be able to take into account these additional acres or these additional projects because it doesn't know how many acres to actually count them as. One of the nice things about the fields pane here is that we do have the ability to add a field on the fly. So if we need to, we can simply click Add Fields, and it will give us the ability to designate a client farm and field. But in order for us to add an active boundary or to define the active boundary, we would actually need to navigate out of Work Planner and then create the additional assets in the Land app. So for this task, we're going to select our Land Lab field, and we're going to click Next. Now, this is the coolest part of the new application, in my opinion. And it's right here that we can set our target rates if they're not already predetermined by our tank mixes. We can add prescription files, we can select our guidance tracks, and even better yet, we can actually define which guidance track is the first one populated and active in the display by clicking one of the stars beside the names here. Now for this project, we're going to start by selecting our prescription file. So we'll want to click here next to our little RX. And in the drop-down box, we're going to want to select our DeKalb file that we were working with. We created that in the Agrian Prescription Creator. And from here, the second drop-down right next to it allows us to define the units of the prescription. Now, keep in mind that some prescriptions will require a multiplier in the event that we wrote this prescription as 32K seeds instead of 32,000 seeds. Now, once we have all of that selected, we're ready to save our work plan, and any new planned work will default to the top of our list. And if we were to do a simple select all right here, the priority of that work would put the Land Lab at the top. In reality, we actually want to plant the big field first and then do the Land Lab second. So we'll just hold our mouse over the little up-down arrow, and then we're going to drag it to the proper place on the list. Now, when we sorted our planned work in the display by priority, the big field will be at the top just like it is in this list. Keep in mind that if you make any modifications to priority or any other changes to this list, you're going to need to push a brand new work plan to the machine. If you find that something in the list needs changed, simply select the right pointing arrow and it will bring you right back into the work plan again, where you can add, subtract, or modify anything you need. Now that we have our list and our planned work properly prioritized, select the 3 plans, and we will notice that the 3 grayed out buttons at the top have now become active. Now, if we click Complete in the web app here, the work will simply change to completed status and disappear from our list. If we were to click Complete in the mobile version of Operations Center, we would then be prompted to add a new completed task layer, which would use the information inputted to fill out a completed task report that would then populate and analyze in Field Analyzer. But selecting Delete, well, that would do exactly that. It would just delete the work from the list completely. Now, to either generate the setup file or to push the file directly to a connected machine, simply click the Send to Equipment button. Here, we can customize the name of our file. In this case, I'm going to call it 2021 Corn Planting. And then, as you can see in the list here, we could then select which machine we wanted to send the file to. Now, if the connected machine has the yellow exclamation point and firmware update required label, we know that the machine is connected, but does not have the required software in the display to handle this file type. So we'll want to update our R4038 sprayer here prior to sending any field work to this machine. The 9RX in the list was not one of the machines that we directly selected. So it is in the list and we can send the file to it, but we do not have this task assigned in our planned work for this actual tractor. In our example here, we actually do not have an MTG on our tractor. So we will want to simply click Send, and we will see the summary that we have packaged 3 work items together under our 2021 corn planting file, but that it was not sent to any wireless data transfer compatible machines. If we select Go to Files, it will take us directly to Files Manager, where we can then download our setup file to import via a flash drive or using the My Transfer app. Otherwise, we can select Done, and it will take us right back to our Work Planner dashboard. And that's how you create a custom tailored corn seeding setup file using Work Planner.
Thank you for watching. Connect with us by subscribing to Precision Ag Answers on YouTube and following RDO Equipment Company on social media. Visit rdoequipment.com for more precision ag resources and solutions.